Matt Gaetz, even though he's not old, I don't agree.
Yeah, what's up with you not liking Matt Gaetz? I don't like Matt Gaetz.
He's a pedophile.
But there's no proof of
there's
that.
Proof. There's proof.
God,
there's proof.
I need them to come up with the evidence.
There's proof. He has a direct connection to like. There's somebody that he knows. I off the top I won't be able to remember, but there's some kind of connection to like either a teen party or like a teen like for teenagers, or just like somebody that was a teenager that was involved in that kind of stuff for sure.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, if you get caught, then we'll know if he really was a.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully he gets caught if he really is a pedophile. Speaking of pedophilia, that was a good transition. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not, but that was great. This video? Okay, so I found this video by accident. Amazing. Not that video.
None.
We don't want that video. We're gonna explain that video, but we don't want that video. All right. It's the video, the first one you had. That one. Okay, so go down. There was a video there. Hold on. Let me see here. Open this up real quick. There was a video there about this guy who, bro, don't tell me that they removed it. Wow.
It has to be this one.
They removed it.
It's not this one?
I don't know. It's okay, go back. I'll just say what the video is because they're not. Wait, go down. Here. Yes,
that.
Yes,
I saw that video.
Awesome.
I saw
okay.
that video, yeah.
Let's listen to this real quick.
Yes.
Yeah. The gold.
Alright, hold on.
Amazing. And this is somehow, again, Trump is related to this. Like, somehow.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call yourself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued him for the herpes and won. But Diddy and Ross, which they're good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They all gay.
And Khaled?
Khaled, bro.
Like
yeah.
DJ Khaled?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
He has the keys, though.
We the gays!
Key to your old booty hole.
Diddy and Cassie. Okay? It's not good. He drinks all the time. Alright? He calls it G-Jit. That's liquid cocaine.
Alright.
I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. Okay, but he's scared that I was going to expose him.
I don't want to talk about Diddy right now. I want to talk about you. Help me understand you. I mean, who?
There's a video that's circulating on Reddit that I can't share because it's like rated R. Even though you don't see any nudity, but you know exactly what's going on.
NSFW.
Yeah, so it's involving Justin Bieber, and it exposes what Justin Bieber was a part of when he was younger. That video is on Reddit. You guys can go and click the link and look for it yourself.
You can show what it looks like. Just this part right here.
Wait,
Just
I mean,
that
yeah, that's
image?
it. That's
Just
all.
that
That's
part.
it. But if you guys want to go and look at it yourselves, so you guys can have your own perspective of what that video is. But
That one frame.
I personally think that he is a victim of what Hollywood is. And what's crazy about that is we're talking about a guy who was getting arrested for human trafficking, right? Okay. I think that what's going to happen to him is what happened to Epstein, where he gets assassinated.
He's on suicide watch right now.
Yeah, which is same thing they did to Epstein. So I don't think he's like the guy. He's one of the guys. So Ghislaine Maxwell's still alive, who I found out recently her father was also a human trafficker. Mm-hmm. So apparently it's a traditional family thing.
I've always thought that she was the one that might have implemented the idea towards him, and then he just acted on it because he had the power to.
I wouldn't.
But there's no way of knowing that.
What makes me question the Justice Department right now is why would you give somebody like that 20 years in prison?
Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of.
I would have killed her.
Yeah, I mean,
you deserve death.
Connections. Lots of connections.
You don't deserve 20 years in prison. You deserve death penalty.
Imagine all the dirt that she has.
Yeah.
All the black.
I mean, yeah, I guess like she's an asset. You know, if the right people are in the DOJ getting that information, but I don't believe that the right people are there in the DOJ getting that information.
I guess the only counter to that I could possibly see is that it has to be like a two-part thing where it's, first of all, they didn't have it has to be like as concrete goes, evidence that she legitimately did that, where they, like, the jurors are like, for sure, like, there's no doubt in my mind that. And also the fact that, like, if we're gonna have policies, like, for example, pro-life, if we're gonna have like pro-life policies, and we're not gonna have, this is why the first part is important, because if we're not gonna have concrete evidence towards that happening, and we're also pro-life, that's contradictory.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that.
You see, so that's the only kind of like legitimate reason that I can possibly see to give them years instead of death. But if
but at
for
least
some reason,
life in prison, she didn't get life. She
well,
got
yeah,
20 years.
but I mean, it's 20 years. It's 20 years. She'll be dead for everything that she did in prison. For sure, I don't think she'll make it out. I mean, maybe because people in power will stay in power no matter what.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
there's always a possibility that she could possibly get fucked up in prison. We don't know.
You brought up people in power.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, supposedly the UN had this meeting that they were going to implement this plot for one world government, which, by the way, they need consent from countries to be able to do that. But they somehow found a loophole to not have consent and just kind of like bypass it. So Congress talked about it really quick. That was on Wednesday.
Here today for our press conference on what I describe as the most important issue that's getting the least amount of attention relative to its importance in our country. And like many other issues, we're going to be deciding on November 5 what kind of a country we're going to be, and it applies to this issue as well. President Trump had withdrawn the U.S. from the WHO, and of course the Biden administration, like every other disastrous decision they made, reversed those policies when the Biden-Harris administration got in charge. Well, later this week, the UN is going to hold a, quote, summit for the future. And they're going to produce, this is right from their website, an intergovernmentally negotiated, action-oriented pact for the future with a chapter on transforming global governance. Ascending beyond the powers being sought by its subordinate agency, the WHO, the UN is seeking even broader and more powerful authority, as you will hear a lot about today. The Biden-Harris administration apparently intends to fully support the surrender and compliance of the U.S. to the UN in these endeavors. They are aligned with the international globalists that hate America, that hate the Constitution, that hate our founders, that hate our founding Judeo-Christian principles, and they want America to become like the rest of the world. They don't want us to be subordinate to or governed by our Constitution. No, they want America to be subordinate to and governed by the UN, the World Health Assembly, and the WHO. And in fact, they intend to join with others at the UN summit this week to vote to award additional powers to the UN Secretary General. They seek to facilitate the evolution of the UN from an international cooperative body to an international governing body. These powers would be triggered by any one of a number of so-called global emergencies, whether it was a so-called climate emergency, a health emergency, a cyber emergency, or a gun violence emergency, whatever that's supposed to be, a financial emergency, or whatever they deem appropriate. And the Biden-Harris administration is in full agreement with the UN and the WHO on efforts to place us under their authority and to require such things as their international health regulations, including the surveillance of U.S. citizens, the censoring of dissenting views, and much more. The American people didn't vote for this, and they don't support this, and it's up to the people's representatives, that's us gathered here today, to have a responsibility to expose this and to reject this. The U.S. should defund the WHO again. We should withdraw from the WHO. Any agreements with the WHO or the UN should require Senate approval or disapproval.
Very black and white. Very, it's either this way or this way. But at least from what I can see, there's like a middle path where like, because okay, at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all human, and I'm not saying like open border, open whatever, like globalist type shit. All I'm saying is that like, if there was an alien invasion right now, that would unite the entire world against that alien invasion. Because guess what? Now we have somebody that we can actually be racist to. Right. So like at the end of the day, yes, there should be some kind of body, like a huge, like not like a corporation, but like a governance of what us as humans actually stand for, like the good, the positive that we actually stand for. It'll be hard. It's hard because, like I said, there's no alien invasion going on right now. But if something were to happen like that, for sure, there's no doubt in my mind that we would get united. That's why I agree with.
The only reason why they created the UN was because of World War II.
Exactly.
But there hasn't been another world war after that.
But we're kind of close.
Yeah, years later. How long has it been since World War II?
Yeah, I mean.
And if it makes sense if they would have discontinued it and then continued it again because they believe there's going to be a World War III.
You know that there's a theory out there that history runs in cycles.
Yeah, it's like what's cyclical.
Like cyclical, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And we're on the cusp of another cyclical event. Where
they need more deaths and more money for the military-industrial complex.
What's happening in Israel is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Bro,
it is.
The latest with what happened in Hezbollah?
I don't know much about that, just because the history with that is ridiculous. And you have to know the history, and I don't have the time.
No, the only thing that...
I'm more focused on our country than any other country.
Yeah, no, the only thing now is, and it's only because it's a humanitarian crisis, and that's the only reason why I know about it, is because they put bombs inside pagers.
Yes, yeah. And yeah. I heard that.
That's terrorism.
Insane.
That's terrorism.
Freaking
because
insane.
Now people are terrified of holding a pager in their hand.
Yeah.
They blew up a fucking 9-year-old, dude.
Yeah.
That's terrorism.
You're talking about Israel doing that.
Yes. Yeah. With our money.
Yeah.
With our money,
not
which
a good,
I 100% disagree
not
with.
A good look. I mean, if it would have passed that bipartisan bill, we would have sent another $600 billion.
What they need to do is like, yo, Netanyahu, shut the fuck up. Either stop the genocide, because it's a genocide. Stop the genocide, or we just stop funding you, bro. And that's it, and that's how it should be.
You do have a family. Are you married by any chance?
I'm not married, but I have my girlfriend.
Okay.
We're
Are you planning on eventually
we're working
married?
towards it. I want to be more financially stable. Like I want to be able to get her like a good ring and stuff like that.
That's cute.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah. That's my biggest thing. Like I don't want to get a ring off Temu, you know, like a fucking $35 ring. You know, that's fucked. I wanna be able to, you know, make sure that we're financially stable. We you know we're.
Weddings are expensive.
Yeah.
And even if we don't get a wedding, I want to be able to show you that you mean that much to me. I don't want to like give you something half-assed, because then that just means that my feelings are half-assed, and it's not. My feelings are full. So.
The difficult of being a man.
Yeah. It's true.
I cannot relate, but I can feel it. There's actually a okay, so I want to really just touch on this. Tagvault.org. Open that up really quick. So this is a statistics that single moms versus single dads, and how a child is better off with a single father versus a single mother. Very interesting stuff, because the courts favors the mother over the father, but statistics tell you otherwise.
But what they should be talking about is like more than both of them combined is having both of them together.
Oh yeah, of course. A nuclear family is the most important thing out there, which by the way, Marxism is against nuclear family.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because it says that, where is it? Okay, here we go. So if you go all the way down, where there's going to be a graph, and it tells you that a single father is more financially stable versus a single mother. A single father has a higher chance of not relying on government subsidies versus a single mother. Single father psychologically, just because a man by nature is just more rigid and
Yeah.
more disciplined and more logical, there's a lower chance of the child ending up a drug addict or a
Okay.
criminal versus a single mother. But the majority of kids are raised
With their mom.
with their moms,
Yeah, because of the courts, and because of the courts giving the mom too much power.
which makes me think like, is this like meant this way? Like, why would you?
I think it, more
make
than
it that
anything, it's
way?
a system issue. Like, systematically, it needs to get changed. Like, first of all, more than anything, if we're gonna be talking about equality, then give us equality. Like,
Yep.
men and women on the same page.
Yep. 100%.
Just because, yeah, sure, you had the child, but if everybody deems that you're not worthy of being accountable for that child, then you're not worthy of being accountable for that child. Doesn't matter if he came out of you or she came out of you.
You don't have a right to your child. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Like, that to me is insane. Like, how is it that you, who inseminated the mother, does not have a right to the child?
It's a 50-50. It takes two.
Like, that to me is just like that should change. That
Yeah.
needs to be. It
Yeah.
doesn't make absolutely sense. It
That's-
takes two people to have a child. Why is it that one automatically is favored by the court system versus the other when it took both of them to have that child in the first
It
place?
also incentivizes. I don't want to generalize, but from what I can tell, it incentivizes women and men, but in a different way. I'll explain the women first. It incentivizes women to take advantage of that system.
Yes.
So there's people that I know that went to the Marines, and they they were with somebody, and she left them, and now she's having a kid with another Marine, and they were married.
What a bitch.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
So and
Wow.
who knows what her actual intention was? She will. Those type of people will never say what their actual intention was.
I don't
because
think they
it's a
even know
very-
what their intentions are.
Yeah, and if they do know, it's a very malicious intent.
Right.
So it incentivizes on one side for the women to take advantage of the system, and on the other side for the men to take advantage of the system, but in a different way because of the subsidies and all the shit that they get for being a single
But
parent.
they don't even get that. As a man, you don't get the same subsidies as a woman does.
No, but since they're a single parent, they still get some kind of help from the government.
But it's
Not
way
as
less.
no, for sure.
Which is like, it
For
defeats
sure.
the whole equality
For sure.
perspective. You're still a single parent.
I'm just trying to be equal on both sides, right? Because there's bad actors on both sides. There's bad actors everywhere.
Right.
So I can't say something negative about one side and then not say something negative about the other side. So for sure there's people on both sides that are doing something shitty for themselves. It's just, first of all, weeding those people out. Actually, more importantly, is fixing the system so that the system weeds out the people themselves.
Exactly. That's what, exactly. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can't weed the people out.
You can't
It
weed the
doesn't-
people out, yeah.
Yeah.